Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2020 science fiction drama Go, Don't Go, a film that is written and directed by Alex Knapp, who also stars in the film. Now, this is a science fiction film that's fairly light on science fiction, I think it's fair to say. However, the premise here is science fiction. And there is a character called Adam, played by Alex Knapp, who seemingly is the last person left alive on Earth. And we see this lonely man wander through his days, doing menial tasks, trying to stay motivated, all the usual stuff that you would expect to see in the premise that he is in. However, the film cleverly blurs the lines in a sense of reality, and nicely presents the premise that he may actually not be alone, and there might actually be something more psychological at play here. So that's all I really want to say on the story of the film here, because this is one of those films that will leave a lot up to the audience member to make their own minds up. Certainly in my opinion, from watching it anyway. It's one of those films that will give you visual clues to suggest that there may actually be something else going on here. Is this film saying more about mental health, loneliness, people who don't stand out, who hide? Is it more about things like that? I got that premise. I got a lot of that from this film. That it might be more about things like mental health and things like that. Because he's a very unassuming person, and we do see clips of him talking to people that he knows or knew in his life, and he's a very unassuming, quite quiet person, and this is by watching it, this is what leads me to think that there might be other things at play here by watching it, but it allows you to make your own mind up here. There's plenty of evidence, I think, on the contrary to the things that I think, and the fact that he may well be the last person on Earth. And if it's a very, very slow burn of a film, this, and it is definitely not for everybody. Because there's very little really happens in the film. It's more of a very slow burn of this lonely guy wandering through his days, sending messages to himself. For example, he tries to do his daily tasks. He'll go to the supermarket, do his shopping. He'll go to his place of work and repair vehicles. So he's maintaining his life, if you like, which again suggests that he may still be just doing his daily things, and there may be plenty of other people around and things, we just don't see them. He makes phone calls to himself. For example, you see him fixing a car and he can't repair it, so he makes a phone call to somebody, and you think, well, who is he calling? And then it turns out later that he's leaving messages for himself. There's other visual clues. He's in a supermarket and there's nobody else there, but you see fresh flowers still in the supermarket, things like that. It's quite subtle but very clever in the visual clues that it gives this film, and there's a number of them for you to make your own assessment as to what is going on. But there's nothing thrilling that happens, not really. There's nothing overly dramatic that happens, not really, and that is the real weakness here of this film. There's no emotional highs, crushing blows, anything like that. It's just very middle of the road all the way through, and telling this very gentle story, if you like, from this character's perspective as to how his life is now. This very lonely existence that he is living. And one side of the coin, it's like I Am Legend, the Will Smith film without the vampires, and obviously the budget, it's very low budget indie film this. And the other side, it's just for me, a drama about a really lonely chap. you know, making his way through his daily life. And again, there's other clues in the film. You know, he'll be sat eating at home, watching The Outer Limits. So it's not subtle in its approach here, and what it's trying to do, it's trying to subtly point you in certain directions as you're watching the film and allow you to make your own mind up as to what it is that you're watching. And I like films like that, generally speaking. I don't like films to grab me and drag me down a very obvious path. This film doesn't do it. It gently holds your hand and gives you a few different options of paths to go down, and almost allows you to tell your own story when you're watching the film. And that's some skill there, I think. There's some really quite nice cinematography going on here. Clearly the director has got some talent here in regards to filmmaking. I think there's some clever ideas, some lovely shots, some nice cinematography, and a very gentle, subtle approach to filmmaking. I'd like to see more work from this director, Alex Knapp, and his performance as well is absolutely fine for someone that has to essentially carry the whole film. But the film is definitely not for everybody. It is very much a slow burn. Don't be expecting, like I say, you know, your normal, you know, Last Man on Earth type story here. It is something a little bit different. It is a little bit more thought-provoking than some, but definitely not for everybody. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It is a really nice attempt, but it is lacking in quite a few areas. So that is my review for Go, Don't Go. I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, I will be back very regular on Screen Stars with more content for you.